Hi guys, FM Campbell here. Welcome to another episode of the Wonderkids series. Today we're going to be looking at attacking midfield left, or the left wing. Basically, same again, we're going to start off with 16-year-olds or 17-year-olds in this case and go through just 20-year-olds. So we're just looking at the Wonderkids. If you want to look at the previous videos, I've already covered goalkeepers, centre-backs, left-backs, right-backs, central defensive midfielders, centre midfielders and central attacking midfielders. So like I said, today we'll be looking at left-sided midfielders. So we'll start off with Julian Brandt, or Brandt. All round he's not too bad at all. His mental's okay but does need work. Shame about determination. Physical's pretty good. Obviously for a 17-year-old his strength and stamina are gonna sort of grow throughout as he gets older. But his technical's okay. For a winger with his dribbling and his crossing needs work, but his dribbling's very good and his technique's all there as well. 17 years old. He plays for Leverkusen in the under-19s. 1.9 million in value. And he's on 12.7k, or 12.75k a week. Sakaria Bakali, very popular in the last FM. As you can see across the board, he's pretty damn good. Shame he doesn't have the work rate to go with the determination, but get someone tutoring him, and that will all increase dramatically, I'd imagine. His crossing needs working on if you're going to play him as a full-on left winger. But if he's going to be an inside forward, he's not too bad. Dribbling's 15, his technique's 15 as well. He just needs work on his stamina, but again that will come through age. The Belgian's playing for PSV in Holland. His value is 1.6 million and he's on 2.7k a week. Very popular in the last FM and he still looks just as good in this one. Then we've got Nemanja Maksimovic. He looks pretty much across the board, especially his mental stats are very good. His crossing's pretty poor, but he's only 18. Technique's only 12, so his technical across the board really is not too great. Physical needs a lot of work as well. It's pretty much 11. Natural fitness is a bit of a concern. He's playing for Domzale. 600k value and is on £1,000 a week. Ricardo Kushner. Mental stats are pretty much all there. Again, shame he doesn't have the work rate to go with the determination. Very technical and skillful player. As you can see, his technique is 16, his flair is 17. Again, his crossing is not superb, but his dribbling is there. His physical, lets him down just a little bit with his stamina at 7, his natural fitness at 10. He's playing for Jon Ajax, and the Dutchman is 18 years old, 650k in value, but he's on £5,000 a week. Victor Fischer, a very good player on this FM. His mental stats are through the roof, same as his physical, and his technical is just as good as well. With technique of 15, his dribbling is 14, but again his crossing needs work. Plays for Ajax, 3.4 million in value and is on 2.7k a week. He's 19 years old. Fabrizio Angeleri, again, he's a little sneaky one that I managed to find. His crossing and dribbling are good. He's predominantly a left midfielder, but you can play him as an attacking left winger. His crossing is 13, dribbling 13, technique's 15, his flair is 14, which isn't too bad as well. Determination's shame, lets him down a bit, but his physical is pretty much all there. 19 years old, and the Argentinian is worth 950k and he's 1.8 a week and he's playing for Godoy Cruz. Then Memphis Depay, he's pretty much across the board, to be honest with you. It's a shame in this save his determination is letting him down, but his mental stats are superb, bar that. His composure maybe needs some work, and for a winger his creativity is not great. But his physical, okay, there's a lot of green there, but you've got 11 on jumping, which doesn't really matter. But his natural fitness is 11, his stamina is 11. And his strength will come through age, but his technical are superb. His dribbling is 16. He's a good set piece take up for free kicks, so get him taking them, and his corners aren't too bad either. His technique is 12, so that's a bit of a shame, but again it will come. 2.9 million in value, playing for PSV again, and 5.5k a week. Luca Garitano, he's also another sneaky one. His mental lets him down in the top area, as you can see. His anticipation, bravery, composure, concentration, decisions all below 10. His creativity is only 10. Physical's not too bad for a winger. I was quite impressed with that. And his technical's okay, but again his crossing needs work. He's playing for Cesena in the reserves, 600k in value, and the Italian is on 2.3k a week. Vitinho, one of the most popular on this FM as left wing, especially in the first season. CSK in Moscow, 2.8 million in value, but he's on 31 grand a week, so it's going to cost you a lot of money in wages. But his physical is very good, very happy with that. His mental's okay, his determination's there. But this top area again is aggression, which I don't really. I mean, you want it about the mid number. You want it too aggressive, otherwise he's going to be picking up bookings. But bravery sort of lets him down a little bit. Technical, it's all there as well. With dribbling at 14, finishing at 14, his technique is 15, so I was quite impressed with that. So I would definitely suggest going and getting him. But one thing to make you aware of is he has an agent who owns 40% of him, so he's probably going to cost you a little bit of money. Then we've got Armando Zamorano. Physical lets him down, especially in the natural fitness area, but other than that, it's not too bad. His mental's pretty good. Shame he doesn't have the determination to go with the work rate and teamwork, but that will come through age. His technical's pretty average, to be honest with you. He's good at crossing, but his dribbling's 12, his technique's only 12. He's 19 years old. He's on 600k a week. Plays for Mexico, and he's worth 600k, and he's on 4.1k a week. He plays for Morelia under 20s, so you'll probably be able to get him quite cheap. Then we've got Ante Rebic. Physical's very good, very impressed with that. His stamina's only 11 though, so just be aware of that. His mental's not too bad at all. Determination's 13, work rate's 13, and he's quite good in a lot of the areas. Obviously, he's not going to be a leader anytime soon. Position's a bit of a concern, but again, it's not exactly key if you're going to be playing on left wing. Sort of give him a free role. That's the only one I'm looking at there. His crossing's pretty poor, but his dribbling's 16, his technique's 12, which isn't great, but he can obviously play up front as well. So his finishing's 13, but first touch is good as well. 19 years old, playing for Fiorentina. He's 6'1", so he's pretty strange on the left-hand side for a 6'1". 2 million in value, on 9.75k a week. Now on to probably the best left winger Wonderkid on the game. His physical is crazy good. He's not going to be jumping obviously anytime soon, and his balance will come through age. But other than that, he's quite quick. His mental, it doesn't look too great, but with a tutoring, and because he's going to be first team pretty much wherever he goes, his determination is a concern, so is his work rate, but that will increase through age. But his technical's through the roof. Dribbling 16, first touch 17. He can shoot from distance 17, and his technique's 16, and that matches with his flair at 15. But he's going to cost you a lot of money. He's got a £39 million release clause. He's on 49 grand a week, 10.25 in value. He's 19 years old. He's German, and obviously he's playing for Schalke. So if you're going to go and get him, either I would wait for him to get a new contract and hope that they don't have a release clause, or because basically they just hold out for the release clause. I think if he gets a new contract, you might be able to get him a little bit cheaper than 39 million. But his contract runs out in 2018, so it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Next we've got Yannick Ferreira Carrasco. He's not too bad. He can play both left and right wing. He's predominantly a left winger. His physical's pretty good. His mental's pretty good. I mean, there's no bright greens at all, but there's a lot of 15s in there. His determination's good at 15, work rate's 13, and he's quite quick. Pace at 15. Remember, he'll get quicker. But apart from that, stamina and natural fitness are okay. Technical, his dribbling's good, which you'd expect, and his technique's good. That all goes along with his flair at 14, I suppose. First touch is okay as well. So he's not too bad at all. Playing for the reserves for Monaco, 1.9 million in value, and the Belgian is 19 years old, and he's on 9.5k a week. But be aware, is a lot of clubs want him on loan in the first season. Next we have Florian Thauvin. You won't be able to get him in the first season, as he's just moved, but I mean, he's one of my favourite left wingers, bar Draxler. His mental stats are a lot better than Draxler's, and determination is 17 with flair at 16. Work rate is also 12. His physical is just as good as well. He's got better balance than Draxler. Stamina 12 and natural fitness 13. His value is 4.6 million. He's on 17.5k a week. But look at that technical again. Dribbling 16, first touch 16, his technique 17. His crossing's a concern, so I'd get him working on that, especially if you wanted to play predominantly as more a winger. But it looks like an inside forward to me. Like I said, 4.6 million in value, playing for Marseille. But I doubt you'll be able to get him first season for very cheap. He's probably going to cost you upwards of about 30 million in the first season if you're going to get him to move clubs straight away. That's even if you can. I don't even know if you can. Other than that, second season, highly recommended. Next, we've got Vladislav Kalitvintsev. Absolute commentator's nightmare. Anyway, His physical, it's okay. His stamina's good and his pace is good, but his natural fitness is 11. His balance and agility, okay, they need work, but he's only 20. His mental's pretty much all there. I was quite impressed with that. Position is not exactly key. Concentration's going to need work, but his work rate's 17, determination of 15. His technical is very good. Dribbling a 14, finishing a 14, which is strange as he can't play up front. Passing a 14 and technique a 14. So he's pretty much across the board. I was quite impressed. 1.6 million in value, 4.3k a week. He's from Ukraine. He's playing for Dynamo 2 Kiev, which I believe is the second Dynamo Kiev team. But yeah, 20 years old. Ikamunoyin, you have to get him in the first season. He signs a new contract pretty quickly, especially if you declare interest. He's available on a free in 2 years' time in 2015, as you can see here. Physical's very, very good. He's good in all the areas he needs to be. He's predominantly an inside forward, but you can play him pretty much across the front three in midfield. His mental's superb. He's 13 and above really everywhere. Obviously he's not going to be a leader anytime soon. His teamwork, that will come through age, especially if you get someone tutoring him. Other than that, his technical's sublime again, with dribbling at 17, first touch at 16, and technique at 16, but his crossing lets him down a little bit if you do want to play him as a winger. He's abysmal, like I said. Whether he'll sign a contract, but he did on mine. 16.25k a week as well, and the Spaniard obviously plays for Athletic Bilbao. Then, besides to Bernard, probably another one of the most popular left wingers to buy on the game. I had him on FM13 on the right wing, and there's one thing that I didn't like about him, and is that he is extremely injury prone. So whether that changes too much in this FM, but most saves I found that he's been injury prone, which doesn't really show. His natural fitness is okay, stamina is okay, and his physical's not too bad really across the board. Balance lets him down, but it's not really a key. His mental's he's brilliant. He's first team for most teams around the world, to be honest with you. Technical is 14 in dribbling. His technical is 14 in dribbling, 15 in finishing, and his technique is 16 as well. Look at that off the ball though and work rate, and he's super quick with 16 and 17 in pace and agility. 14.75 million, so it's going to cost you a lot of money, especially as his wages are 71k a week, 20 years old, and obviously, as you can see, he plays for AC Milan. Then we've got a very popular young man in the last FM. Unfortunately, he's just moved to Shakhtar, so you probably won't be able to get him in the first season. Also, an agent owns 30% of him as well. It's 9.75 million in value, 27.5k a week in wages. His physical's all there, what he needs to be, but his strength, balance and jumping reach are very low. So just be aware of that. Obviously, they're not key to the position he plays, but still, he's going to get bossed off the ball if he's playing against a strong right back. His mental's quite impressive as well. Positioning again but again, it's not exactly the most important thing. Determination's good, flair's good, decisions, creativity, anticipation, all pretty much good. Going on to his technical, his crossing's 15, so that's very good. Dribbling is 16, his technique's 16, his first touch is 15 as well. Obviously, don't forget these players that I'm talking about do change save to save. But like I said, you won't be able to get him in the first season, but I would highly recommend him in the second season. So that's Bernard, Thorvin, El Shaarawy if he's not injury prone. Obviously, Draxler, depending on what happens with his contract situations as well. And then Ikamunoyin is also a highly recommended one from me. So that's all the left wingers. Not quite as long a video today. Next we'll be looking at right wingers, which means a video, as you've probably all been finding out playing your games, that wingers are very hard to find. So the right wing will also probably be quite short. Other than that, like I said, I've covered all the other positions previously, so go check that out. This video is in a playlist if you want to check them out. After the right wingers, we'll be looking at strikers, which is the big one at the end. So looking forward to that. But thanks very much for watching. You were listening to FM Campbell. Comment below if there's any players that I've missed, any players that I forgot to include, or anything like that. But just remember that these are players that I found in my saves. I've not used any other people's lists or anything like that. These are just players that I found in my saves throughout my scouting. So I've probably missed some. But yeah, like I said, thanks very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see you when we look at the right wingers. Cheers.